Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about migration and urbanization. Rajesh and Suresh were new students joined in a school. They were allotted to Section A in 8th standard. The class teacher and other students of the class welcomed them. Teacher said, "You are going to have new friends today. So, you all introduce yourselves to others. Say your name and place from where you are coming. Okay." They started from the first bench. Rajesh and Suresh were sitting in the second bench. Rajesh had a turn to introduce himself. He said, "I am Rajesh. As my mother has been transferred to this school, we migrated from Chennai to Krishnagiri." Now, Suresh had a turn to introduce himself. He said, "I am Suresh, coming from the village called Pudupatti. It is 5 kilometers away from the school. Madam, please tell me the meaning of migration," the word used by Rajesh. The teacher said, "Yes, from this lesson, we are all going to learn in detail about it." First one is migration. Migration has been defined differently by different experts. In general, migration is defined as the permanent or semi-permanent changes of residence of an individual or group of people over significant distance. So the term migration refers to the movement of people from one place to another. United Nations Organization definition. Migration is a form of geographical mobility of population between a geographical unit to another, generally involving a permanent change of residence. Next, we have to learn about human migration. One of the most important aspects of social science is human migration. It has maintained a close relation with mankind from its earliest stage. Migration is one of the most important dynamic human activities from the very beginning of human life. During the early days, people moved from one place to another in search of food. When most of the people ceased to live in the forest and adopted civilized life, they developed relationship with the domesticated animals and fertile land. As a result, the mobility of mankind changed considerably. They almost left the nomadic life and started to live in permanent settlement. At this stage, people continued to move from one region to another in search of fertile land for cultivation. Afterwards, the nature of mobility frequently changed over a period of time. Next one is, what are the factors of migration? There are number of factors which are responsible for the migration of human population. These factors can be grouped under the heads of favorable and unfavorable factors. The favorable factors which attract people towards a location are called pull factors. The unfavorable factors which made the people to move out from a location are called push factors. Next one is ecological and natural causes of migration. The causes operate under this category are natural ones. They include volcanic eruption, earthquake, flood, drought, etc. These events force of the people to leave their native places and settle in new areas. The conditions like the availability of water resources, areas free from hazard, pollution, etc. attract the migrants. Socio-cultural causes of migration. Socio-cultural causes also play some roles in the process of migration. Migration of women after marriage and migration associated with pilgrimage are based on the socio-cultural customs. Economic causes of migration. Economy is one of the most important causes of human migration from one area to another. Various economic causes determine the level and direction of migration. The availability of fertile agricultural land, employment opportunities, development of technology, etc. are some of the economic causes that attract the migration. The mass poverty and unemployed force the people to move out from their native places to the places where the better employment opportunities are available. Next one is demographic causes of migration. In demographic sense, the population composition like age and sex, overpopulation, underpopulation are the major causes of migration. It is well known fact that adults are more migratory than any other age groups. Women mostly migrate after their marriage. Political causes of migration. Various political causes like colonization, wars, government policies, etc. have always been playing important role in human migration from time to time. Wars have been one of the significant causes of migration since ancient time. Now we have to learn about what are the pull factors and what are the push factors. Pull factors. First one is least hazard prone zones, favorable climate, abundance of natural resources and minerals. Economic cause, potential for employment. Socio-cultural cause, social unification. Demographic cause, underpopulation. Political cause, political security, independence and freedom. Persecution, affordable and accessible urban services. Example, healthcare, education, transport and recreation, etc. Next one is type of migration. Migration can be classified into several ways. It is usually categorized as follows. Based on the movement associated with the administrative limits. Internal migration. The movement of people within a country is known as internal migration. Further, the internal migration is classified into 4 categories on the basis of place of origin and destination of migrants. Rural to urban migration. It is the movement of population from rural areas to growing towns and cities mainly in search of employment, education and recreation facilities. Next one is urban to urban migration. It is the migration between one urban center to the other, like in search of higher income. Rural to rural migration. It is driven by fertile land for cultivation and other sociological factors like marriage, etc. Urban to rural migration. It is the movement from urban centers to rural areas to get rid of the urban problems and returning to native places after retirement from jobs. Rural to urban migration is most common one. International migration. Migration that occurs across the national boundaries are known as international migration. Thank you, students.